Alrighty, Ken. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, Gary. How are you doing, Professor?
I'm doing well. Doing well. Episode 15, here we are, the affiliate files. One of the things that I love about my current day-to-day job, we'll just say, job. I beat you to the air
Oh, you
quotes.
did.
Yep. For all you guys listening on the podcast, I beat him to the air quotes. So my job, right? My day-to-day job. One of the things that I love is I don't have to worry about traffic. Aha. But there is also the fact that I do have to worry about traffic, just a different type of traffic as an affiliate marketer. So what's your take on traffic? Traffic for affiliate marketing. First, like how do you define traffic? When people say, "Oh, I got to find a good source of traffic," or "I need more traffic."
Yeah, traffic just seems to be that one thing that everybody needs. Well, we all need it, right? Without traffic, you're not gonna be able to generate leads, and without the leads, you don't get sales. But traffic to me is this is a good question. To me, it's bringing in and attracting the right audience for your offer. And there's multiple ways to do it, but whatever it is, whether it's paid or whether it's free, it's really targeting it and attracting the right type of person through your content or through ads or whatever you're doing to bring them in and to see what you have to offer. That's what I view in terms of traffic. And it's not necessarily in terms of what you're offering, but it's also just the knowledge that you can provide them, right? To help them solve whatever problems or challenges that they may be facing. And that's traffic to me.
Yeah. I mean, traffic is real people. I mean, traffic is real people that are looking for products that you promote as an affiliate. And then how you're getting your message out, right? And then how people find that message is all about traffic. So to relate it to the real world, think about real traffic. Why do people put gas stations on the highway? Because highways have traffic. And people in traffic, they need gas, right? I
Absolutely.
mean, it's crazy when you break it down to like the real world and like how to think about it. And I think, when you speak in the abstract, sometimes people get confused, but I don't think there's any reason to really be confused about traffic. You
Yeah.
need traffic.
Yeah.
You need good traffic.
Yeah.
So if you were to set up and build a gas station out on a dirt road and there's only one car a day that goes up and down that road, you're going to tap your traffic source pretty quick. I mean, you got one person. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So you have to go where the traffic is. And this is the thing, I mean, obviously that social media brought to all of us as affiliates is it's easy to go there.
Right.
It's easy to find the traffic.
Right.
Then you just sort of have to start weeding, or we probably not weeding is probably not the right way to say it, but you have to start filtering the traffic. And you do that with your message.
Right. Right. And I think it's so super important. And we talked about this in earlier episodes as well, to know your audience, to understand your audience, and to really realize that pain point. What are they trying to solve? What is it that they're trying to fix? And be able to produce that content, be able to attract those people in that are looking for that solution. And that solution eventually turns out to be the product that you're promoting. And I think, the analogy you used of putting that gas station out on a single lane road that only has like one car every day going by, it's true though. I mean, I think a lot of us, decide beforehand that we're going to plant our gas station right there, not knowing that we need to go where there's traffic. I mean, and that goes back into sometimes choosing your niche, right? Choosing a niche that has traffic. And this is going to be a really good episode, by the way, because we could probably talk for hours about this, but I really do believe that the way I used to do it was I would just plant my gas station right there on that lone highway. And I would wonder why I wasn't getting traffic. Whereas if you research your niche and you know that there are people that are searching for that solution, that's where you're going to plant your gas station, because that's where you're going to have the most amount of traffic. But also too, there's going to be a lot of competition. And I think that scares a lot of affiliates from going into that niche or that sub niche, because they feel there's too much competition. So it's kind of weird, because you end up kind of putting yourself out of business by doing that too. I mean, you have to go where there's traffic, because
you never give yourself a chance if you don't.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is.
Gas stations are the perfect example, right? Like when you're driving down, the highway, the interstate, the freeway, whatever you call it where you're from, right? There's lots of traffic, lots of cars, and there's more than one gas station.
Right.
Because people need the gas.
Right.
So talking about and going back to that analogy of sort of building your gas station on that one lane road, a way to think about that, and a way I like to think about it, even though you're on Facebook, and we use Facebook as the example because it's just easiest for most people to understand, right? But it doesn't matter. It could be LinkedIn, or it could be Twitter, it could be TikTok, it could be Pinterest, whatever. There's tons of traffic there, but your profile could be that single lane road, right? With only one person on there. You have to actively go out and get people to notice that you built a gas station there. You know what I mean? So that's your content. Your content has to have a specific message, and then you have to go and you have to find the people to come and look at that message. I think that's a lot of people and a lot of misunderstandings too, that people think they're just going to post stuff on social media and then everybody's just going to find it. Especially when we're talking about free traffic and sort of that idea of free organic traffic. And maybe when like Facebook first started, that worked better. But these days, I mean, unless you're very, focused in the fact that you are finding people, like-minded people, or people that are very, focused on the problem they have, and you have the solution to help them, you have to go to the places that already have the traffic, the groups, the pages, that's why paid traffic works so well.
Yeah.
Because that's how it's built. Anybody that's ever been into the Facebook Ads Manager, and if you haven't ever been into the Facebook Ads Manager, you're missing out on a plethora of information, even if you never run a single ad, to see the type of data that Facebook has on people and the ability to build an audience.
Right. Yeah. And you mentioned Facebook, and I've run Facebook ads much like you, and that audience insights tool, like it said, without you even running an ad, you can go into the audience insights tool and you can break down audiences based on interests, their affinities, and you can get this mountain of data about the person that you are targeting. It's pretty incredible how you can get that information. But it does, if you advertise, it does come at a cost, right? So you got to weigh that balance between, do I want to do free traffic, which does take time, but it also, time is money, as well as paid traffic, where you have to invest and know that you're going to be putting money in. You have to have that tolerance for pain that you're going to be putting that in there, and you're investing into getting that data to make the necessary move. So yeah, traffic is, it's an interesting, I don't know. We toss around that word traffic a lot, and I talk about it. In fact, I talked about it today, and I'm sure you did on our videos that we've been posting on our channel. So 30minutemarketing.net and Ken Furukawa Marketing. But we talk about traffic all the time, and it's interesting because people are always looking for traffic, and the traffic that's being offered on a lot of the products that we evaluate involves social media. And it's just one of those things where I always talk about, having the right audience. And when you're a beginner, most of us, if we use Facebook as an example, most of us start off with just having our family, our friends, and our coworkers and acquaintances as our inner circle. And as Gary mentioned, you got to go out and you got to find those people. That the days of the organic posts, finding those people, those days are gone. I think it was back in what, 2017 or
Yeah, but
2019.
I think you know,
Yeah,
in its early days, just like any social media platform, when they first start building, they work harder to help you find an audience because they want people to engage with each
yeah,
other, and they
yeah,
want those groups, those like-minded groups, and those people that come together that have the same problem or the same thoughts or the same ideology, and they want those groups to be built sort of free and organically because then
right,
that's going to build a platform. Because at the end of the day, Facebook's an ads platform.
yeah,
They wanted to be able to sell ads to corporations and companies and affiliate marketers to get that message out. So that organic reach was sort of natural and they just sort of let it happen. You know what I mean? And they sort of engineered it. And you can think of that way sort of too. You have to engineer the traffic, right? Meaning you have to think about the patterns, think about how people are going to flow towards you, how to get their attention. For example, on Facebook, you're doing interruption marketing, right? You're
right.
getting people's attention for them to take notice of you. So if
Yep,
you're driving down the highway and you see a billboard and it says, gas exit 3, you've engineered, that pathway for people to come to your product, to come, understand your message. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
So let's say that you have a gas station, but what if you have, you're diesel only, right? Or you're looking for those big rig trucks. You know what I mean? The big 18 wheelers, or what do they call them in the UK? The lollies or whatever. It's like you're thinking of a different type of audience at that point, right?
right, right,
So then your billboard has to say that, your content. So if you think about a billboard as a post on Facebook to generate traffic, you want to make sure that you're very specific in who you're calling out to, right? If you're selling diesel for 18-wheeler big rig trucks, you want to make sure that's your message. Because if they pull up to your gas station and you have one pump under an 8-foot awning that they can't even get their truck under, you've done them no good, right? You've actually wasted their time and you've angered them. Like they're never going to come back to your content.
right,
It's like you
right,
wasted their time. And I think that's a lot of, what a lot of people don't understand as well is that, oh, I just need traffic. I need traffic. Well, yeah, you need traffic, but you have to understand who your traffic is. And then you have to understand how to engineer, the pathway the pathway for that traffic to get to your content. And then when they show up, you have to make sure that your content is the right content based
right.
upon the path that you gave them to get to your content.
Yeah, you gotta, and we had talked about this before on our pre podcast chat about you can even segment the traffic that comes into, let's say, your Facebook group or your Facebook page based on the type of content that you provide. And it could be a subtle shift in the message that attracts them to a certain part of the content that you're providing. But again, it's the content that has to also attract them, but also keep them there.
Mhm.
And by providing that value, you create that stickiness, and they stay there. And you can, and maybe it's more advanced sort of tactic. And Gary, you can probably talk about it because you're talking about doing it on your YouTube channel. I don't mean to throw it out there, but I know that you were doing that in the type of content. You could kind of try and put them in certain levels to see who, where the traffic started dropping off and where it continued was that specific type of audience that you wanted to target, which is kind of interesting. I've never thought about that, and maybe you could share that with everyone on the podcast.
Yeah, well, I mean, my concept is basically just having different pillars for a different audience, but also inside of those pillars, you want to make sure you cast a wide net, at the top of, say, for example, I use a playlist. You want to cast a wide net and you want to attract everyone. So, for example, to go back to the analogy, you're trucking down the highway and you need gas, right? The first billboard says gas, exit 3. You know what I mean? And then they're driving and like, that's going to appeal to everybody, right? Because the fact is gas is universally fuel, right? So it doesn't matter. They know that, next gas stop, exit 3. But then the next billboard is going to say, you know, truckers, trucker specials, or, the types of gas you have. Or also sometimes you just want to repel an audience. You want to say, that first sign or that first video, say in a playlist, that wide net is just gas station, right? Exit 3. The
Right.
next one is no diesel, right? Or no big trucks.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But you could also, reverse that and say, okay, we have gas, exit 3. We have gas, and we also have a restaurant at exit 3, right? And the next one would be we have gas and a restaurant, but we don't have diesel or no big trucks allowed, in the gas station, but they could also stop to eat, right?
Yep.
Because sometimes your audience needs more than one thing.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that's getting into, the difference in your content, your niche and all that. But the concept is the same no matter the idea of getting traffic and where the traffic comes from and sort of, throwing it out to everybody. Because you can't target everyone.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
looking for people that need gas.
Yep.
Because otherwise, if everyone stops at your gas station, it's just going to clog up the entry into your gas station.
Yep.
And then people are just going to drive by and be like, well, I didn't need any gas.
Yeah.
Well, then why are you here?
Yeah.
Well, your sign said, you know what I mean? Something completely different, or I misunderstood the message.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I thought this was for me.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think to me, and maybe that's an advanced, like I mentioned, maybe it's a more advanced kind of a strategy. But I just like the way that you're able to, based on the content that you put out, kind of redirect and direct the traffic to the different areas that you want. And I think that's the beauty of the free traffic model as well, because like, you can produce that content, you can do it. It takes time, and obviously time is money, but that content is constantly flowing. That traffic is constantly coming in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, based on the information that you've been putting out there. Versus, let's say paid, you've got to really, and I'm running paid ads right now. I'm doing some paid ads, and it's much different, because whereas I can create a video and put content out there and know that I'm going to attract a specific audience for that content, with the ads that I'm running right now, there's so many little intricate things that you have to do, levers that you have to pull in order to find the right people. It's so different. And the difference is that while I can cast that wide net on the free side, I can bring those people in. It doesn't cost me anything more other than the hour or 2 hours that I put into generating that traffic. Whereas with paid ads, if I make a mistake, or if I choose the wrong setting or something, I could attract a totally different audience. They may not like my message, which means that, I'm running YouTube ads right now. YouTube, it'll cost me more in order to put that ad in front of people. So it's like this it's very interesting to kind of now be in part of both free and paid traffic, and to try and compare and contrast. They're so different. They are very, very different. The same goal, obviously, but very, very different approaches, and just the mechanisms that make them work.
Yeah. And I think the idea of that too, sort of that dynamic, the way that you think about it, you could just as easily flip it over depending on your personality, depending on your product, depending on, what your goal is. So for some people, the idea of sitting around and waiting for free organic traffic would drive them insane, because they're like, where are the people?
Yeah.
Where is it? What am I measuring here?
Yeah.
Because they're looking at data and going, I don't have enough data.
Right.
And to an extent, that's true, right? If you're looking at it from that standpoint. So free traffic is not going to just all of a sudden you put out a piece of content and then you have, we'll just say, clicks. You don't have 1,000 clicks. You don't have anything to look at. It's just sort of sitting there. And the 1,000 clicks take, 30 days.
Right.
Versus with paid traffic, you can get 1,000 clicks in 3 minutes, 30 seconds, depending on how much money you can spend.
Right.
You know what I mean? For that traffic source to go out and literally find the traffic and put it in front of them. Right. So they take your content, your ad, right, and they put it in front of people that they think are interested in that message based upon your settings. Or you could just leave it wide open. Like you can literally advertise to everyone on Facebook.
Yep.
Facebook will not stop you from doing that.
Yep.
Right. So, but think about that. Think about if you had a product, it was just this I don't even know, this widget that everybody needed. I mean, there was no doubt about it. Everyone that was on Facebook absolutely needed this widget. And you knew that if you got it in front of them, that they would buy it, right? Maybe not even everybody. Everybody knew it, and you knew that 10% of them that saw it would buy it instantly.
Right.
Then that would be money well spent
Yeah.
just to run that,
Yeah.
right? But then it comes back to the idea, first of all, do you have the money to lose? Money versus time,
Yeah.
right? And you hit on that perfectly at the beginning. And that is like the big debate when everyone starts out. And a lot of times it's not whether or not you have it or not, it's whether or not you have it within yourself to spend the money,
Right.
to bet on yourself, to bet on your content, to bet on your product, right?
Right.
And
Yep.
that's, part of just doing business or being in a business or even being an entrepreneur, is looking at it and going, what do I have the stomach for?
Yep. Yeah. And for me, I mean, and my recommendation, probably your recommendation is I always like to start off with the organic method, because I think it really helps you to understand your audience based off of the data you get. Now, granted, it does take a while. It does take a while to generate that traffic when you're going the organic route. But that's a trade-off that you have to make, that Gary had talked about. You got to have that stomach for it, is whether or not you have the intestinal fortitude to just kind of be focused and disciplined to put out that content every day to attract that audience and know that you're building something. I know that especially in this day and age, people are so impatient that it's so difficult for people to do something just for even a few months without them getting distracted. And I think, with paid ads, obviously you can get that data faster, but you said it, it's just that balance that you have to maintain as to what you can do. But to me, all of it is just part of that whole learning process of being an affiliate marketer, that knowing that there's different types of traffic out there that you can tap into. And once you master one, focus on one, whether it's paid or whether it's free, focus on one, get to the point where you've mastered it or you have a really good understanding of it. And then you can start expanding out into other areas and other forms of traffic to drive to your affiliate offers.
Yeah, a lot of times people like to look at it. Again, it goes back to, your ideas, your concepts, your, like you said, just your ability to create content and then look at it objectively and say, this is good content. I'm going to put it out there and then I'm going to wait. Some people just don't want to do that. And
Yeah.
sometimes you shouldn't do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So really what I'm trying to say is sort of two methods or two schools of thought, right? I'm going to create organic content, right? I'm going to build my gas station. That's the content. And I'm going to fully build it out, fully stock it with gas. And I'm just going to sit and wait for the customers to come, right? Then there's also going to be the person that goes, yeah. Then once you get your first customer, now you know that you got something. They were happy. Now you go out and you put up the sign and you start bringing people to it and you start paying for it because you know that people enjoy your product, they enjoy your content, it resonates with them, they convert, you make money, right? There's a positive return on that investment of building that content. Now
Right.
you move it over to paid traffic and an ads, return on ad spend, right? Which is the same thing. It's just specifically focused on ad spend. And you run ads to that exact same content. But here's the kicker, right? And this is the kind of thing that you don't really learn until you learn it. Sometimes that organic content falls flat on its face with ads. And sometimes that content that you run ads to will never, ever do anything organically.
Yeah.
And how do you know? You test.
Yep. Yeah. And that's part of the pain that I go through that I'm going through right now, running these ads. And it's such an interesting, it's so different than what I do right now in terms of, my YouTube channel. I'm publishing content there, is crafting content for paid ads that's shorter, more to the point, that's just call to action, getting them. The goal is the click, click. And I only have I shouldn't say a limited amount of time. I can make the videos as long as I want to, but the attention span of people online is so short that you have to just you gotta like wow them. You gotta wow them, and you gotta get them to do that click, to make the click. Whereas if I were to do a video, value video, you know, I can make that video an hour long, and you know, still get that value out of it. But you know, it's a slower process, which for me is interesting. It's been an interesting way to learn how to be quicker and to the point, and just trying to get people to do that one thing, which
Well,
is
because at that point you're running an ad, you know, just like an ad on television or on
yeah,
the radio. You
yeah,
know what I mean? It every second you're on that media, every second you're on the air, that's money out of your pocket, and you got to
right,
recoup that investment. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You got to get an ROI on that, or a return on ad spend, or ROAS,
yep.
ass.
Can we bleep that out?
Right? Sorry, folks, if you were listening with your children in the room. No, but you know, you have to get that investment back.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
but honestly, you and here's the thing, right? The truth about making money online. The truth about making money online is you can get the money back. That's the whole point. You
Right.
can make more money.
Yeah.
You can't get your time back.
Right.
So a lot of people see organic and free traffic, right? Trying to reach. And again, let's focus in on what traffic is. Traffic is creating content to reach out to real people, right? That have a real problem that you have a solution for, right? No matter at the end of the day, because we like to use the word problem, but you know, a new iPhone for some people is a problem because they don't have it, right? You
Yep.
know, or, you know, a new set of bowling shoes, or where are they going to go get a drink tonight, right? Where are they going to get a hamburger? Who has the best hamburger? These are all
Yep.
problems. The
Yep.
problems don't always have to be like physical pain or,
Yep.
you know, like health issues and stuff,
Yep.
but it's all the same, right? These are real people, real problems, and you have a message, and that message is you can help them. And then,
Yep.
of course, that's your affiliate offer as an affiliate marketer, and that's about the affiliate files. The truth about making money online with all that is understanding that traffic is real people,
Yeah.
and the fact that you're investing your time and your money, right? Which one do you have most of? Which one do you have more of? Which one are you more comfortable spending? Spending time or spending money? You know, and then understanding that you never get your time back.
Yeah.
Period. You know, even if you make all the money in the world, the time is still gone.
Yeah.
So again, it goes back to traffic. What is it? Where to get it? It doesn't really matter what niche you're in. It doesn't really matter like if you want to use free traffic or you know paid traffic. The simple fact of the matter is the truth about making money online is you have to have traffic. You have to understand what traffic is. You have to understand that you have to go find it with your content,
Hmm.
right? Now, different platforms, for example, YouTube is a search engine, Google is a search engine. People
Hmm.
are looking for that content. And we talked about that here on the affiliate files.
Yeah.
People are looking for that content. Whereas lots of times people want to go to Facebook and they want to create that same type of content. You can't do that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You have to interrupt what they're doing. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And
Yeah.
usually that's their friends and families on Facebook, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a good time, it's a release, it's a place to go get away from the pain of the daily grind or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's also important because you if you interrupt them correctly, especially in like the make money online space, you know, you could say, "Hey, you know, I know you just finished a hard day or whatever, or you're here to relax, but you're going to have a lot more time to spend here if you check this out because you're going to be making money, you know, hand over fist by pushing a button."
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, so it's just the thought process of traffic and understanding what traffic means to you and to your business. And the simple fact of the matter is the truth is you got to have it.
Absolutely. No traffic means no leads. No leads means no sales.
Traffic, leads, sales. These are all words that you have to get intimate with
Yeah.
and you have to understand them. You can't be afraid of them
Yeah.
and understand it's going to cost you time. It's going to cost you money. It's going to cost you both because you got to spend the time to learn how to get the most out of your money. I
Yep.
mean, you got to put all this stuff together. And this episode was not to chase you away from, you know, making money online, especially as an affiliate, because I know, and you know, just like we talked in the last episode, Ken believes, right, that affiliate marketing is the best way to get started online. It's the
Yeah.
easiest path. Oh, back up. It's the simplest path to getting started making money online.
We need one of those, like a swear jar, but instead for using the word easy instead of simple. And every time you say easy, it depends on the context. You have to like drop a quarter in there or something.
Need a little graphic here in the corner, a little symbol that pops up every time we say something we're not supposed to. But yeah, just take your time and spend a little bit of money, right, to shortcut that time or to save some of that time and invest in yourself and your knowledge of what traffic is, how to get it, where to get it, what the best method and best place for you to get that traffic. And a great place to do that is Taking Action Online. You can come over to the community. There's a link below this video here on the YouTube channel. If you're on the podcast, there's a link there, and you can always just go to the affiliatefiles.com/community. And you can find out all kinds of great information, just like we've been talking about. You can start for free.
Yeah, absolutely. So don't forget, click on the link. Click on the link. That's all you got to do. Click, click,
That's
click,
it.
click, click.
All right. That's traffic in a nutshell. Start building your gas station and see if people want any of your gas.
I like that. I love it.
He's Ken. I'm Gary, and we'll talk to you later.